That wilting tomato, that yellowing pepper, that basil plant that looked perfectly fine a week ago and now seems like it's given up. Most people throw a plant away at this point, and according to soil scientists and experienced growers, that's almost always the wrong call. Because in most cases, a dying plant isn't actually dead. It's starving, it's stressed, or it's missing something simple that you can often provide using ingredients already sitting in your kitchen, your garden, or your compost bin. I went through 15 natural plant boosters. I tested them myself. I compared them and paid attention to one thing above all else. Which ones actually bring plants back? And how fast? Because when your plant is hanging on by a thread, you don't want theories, you want results. And some of these can make a visible difference in just a few days. Stay with me until booster number 9. It costs absolutely nothing and worked faster than anything else on this list. And at the end, I'll show you the 2 boosters you should never combine. Separately, they can help your plants. Together, they can damage roots and create an entirely new problem. Let's start with 3 that almost everyone has heard of, but most people are using incorrectly. Most gardeners know this one, but most use it wrong. Sprinkling dry coffee grounds directly on top of the soil can form a crust that blocks water and airflow. Instead, stir 1 tablespoon into 1 liter of water and let it sit overnight before watering at the base. Nitrogen becomes available surprisingly quickly. Many gardeners notice improved leaf color within 48 to 72 hours. It's best for tomatoes, peppers, spinach, and other leafy plants. One tip you rarely hear: never use fresh coffee grounds more than once every 2 weeks. Too much can stress young roots. Eggshells provide calcium, which is critical for preventing blossom end rot, especially in tomatoes and peppers. The catch: large shell pieces break down painfully. Slowly. Grind them into a fine powder first. Visible improvements usually appear within 7 to 14 days, as new growth develops, stronger and healthier. Dry the shells in the oven for 10 minutes before blending. They grind much finer. Banana peels contain potassium, one of the nutrients plants rely on for flowering and fruit production. Chop 1 peel into small pieces. Soak it overnight in a liter of water. Use the liquid at the base of flowering plants. You may notice stronger blooms and perkier growth within 4 to 7 days. Best for peppers, roses, tomatoes, and flowering annuals. Use ripe peels only. Green banana peels break down more slowly. Those 3 are solid, but booster 4 is where it gets interesting. Because this one comes from something most people throw away every single week without thinking twice about it. Those papery onion skins are packed with trace minerals. Steep a handful in hot water overnight. Strain and water your plants. Many gardeners report healthier leaves within 3 to 5 days. Best for herbs and houseplants. Only use dry outer skins. Avoid any that show signs of mold. After rinsing rice, save the cloudy water. Leave it covered for 1 day to ferment slightly. This introduces beneficial microbes and nutrients. You will often notice improved vigor within 3 to 6 days. Excellent for herbs, lettuce, and indoor plants. Dilute it 1-to-1 with water before using. Undiluted rice water can smell and attract pests. This surprised me. I expected very little from something that looks like syrup, but within 1 week, the same tomato plant that had been yellowing for nearly 2 weeks looked noticeably different. Molasses feeds beneficial microbes in the soil, and healthy microbes help roots absorb nutrients more efficiently. Use 1 teaspoon per liter of water. Visible improvements in overall plant vitality often appear within 5 to 7 days. Best for vegetable gardens. Always choose unsulfured molasses. The sulfur-treated versions can disrupt microbial activity. If you've got stinging nettles nearby, you have free fertilizer. Steep nettles in water for several days. The resulting liquid is rich in nitrogen and micronutrients. Plants often green up noticeably within 4 to 6 days. Fantastic for leafy vegetables. Wear gloves. You'll only forget once. That's 7 down, and booster number 9 is still coming up. It's the one I kept returning to during testing, but first, 2 more that genuinely surprised me. If you have a freshwater aquarium, do not dump the water after cleaning. Plants often respond within 2 to 4 days, especially herbs and houseplants. I will admit it, I almost left this one off the list. It felt too niche. Not everyone has a fish tank, but if you do, this is free fertilizer you have probably been pouring straight down the drain. Fish waste creates a balanced nutrient solution that plants absorb surprisingly easily. Never use saltwater aquarium water, ever. This is the one. Because every time you boil vegetables, you are making it, and most people pour it straight down the drain. Unsalted cooking water contains minerals released during cooking. Let it cool completely, then water your struggling plants. Some gardeners notice improvements in leaf firmness and color in as little as 48 hours. It costs nothing, it reduces waste, and it works. Best for almost every non-sensitive plant. One crucial tip: if you added salt to the pot, do not use it. Salt damages roots, 6 more to go, and 2 of them almost didn't make this list because they sound far too simple to work, but they absolutely do. If you've got finished compost, you've got one of the most powerful plant boosters on this list. Soak finished compost in water for 24 hours, strain it, then use the liquid around the base of your plants. Expect stronger growth and healthier looking foliage within 5 to 7 days. What makes compost tea different is that it doesn't just feed the plant, it feeds the life in the soil. And healthy soil almost always grows healthier plants. Use mature compost only. Fresh compost can burn plants, and if you don't have finished compost yet, this is also a reason to start. A small compost bin takes about 10 minutes to set up and gives you a steady supply of what may be the best free fertilizer on this entire list. Used carefully, wood ash can be incredibly effective. It supplies potassium and can gently raise soil pH when conditions call for it. Results often appear within 4 to 7 days, especially in plants growing in overly acidic soil. Only use ash from untreated wood. Never use charcoal briquettes, painted wood, or anything containing chemical additives. A little goes a long way. More is definitely not better. I'll be honest, I added this one to the list with low expectations. Aloe is for sunburn, not soil. At least, that's what I thought. But the effect on a plant recovering from transplant shock was faster than I anticipated. 3 days, noticeably more upright. Blend a small piece of fresh aloe with water. Its natural compounds can support root health and help stressed plants recover more quickly. Great for newly transplanted vegetables, herbs, and houseplants that seem to struggle after being moved. Use pure aloe. Avoid commercial gels with added fragrances, dyes, or preservatives. Those ingredients belong on neither your skin nor your soil. Magnesium deficiencies often show up as yellowing leaves with green veins, and when that is the issue, Epsom salt can help. Dissolve 1 teaspoon in 1 liter of water. Apply it around the base of the plant. New growth often improves within 5 to 10 days. Best for tomatoes, peppers, and roses. Only use Epsom salt when a magnesium deficiency is likely. It is a targeted fix, not an all-purpose fertilizer. More is not better. And adding what a plant does not need can create new deficiencies elsewhere. This one sounds almost too simple, but gardeners have been using chamomile for generations. Its natural antifungal properties can help stressed seedlings and vulnerable young plants. Visible improvements often show within 3 to 5 days, especially when damping off disease is beginning to develop. Use plain chamomile tea bags. No added flavors, no sweeteners, just chamomile. Sometimes the simplest remedies survive for decades because they actually work. Used sparingly, hydrogen peroxide can increase oxygen availability around struggling roots. It is especially useful for plants recovering from overwatering. Mix 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide with 4 parts water. Apply it carefully around the root zone. Plants that have been sitting in soggy soil often begin showing signs of recovery within 2 to 4 days. Use it occasionally, not as a regular fertilizer. Too much can damage the beneficial microbes you are trying to support. And this is the moment for the warning I promised. Never combine Booster 3 and Booster 11. Banana peel tea and wood ash. Wood ash raises pH rapidly. Combined too closely with potassium-rich boosters, nutrient balance can shift quickly enough to stress roots. Use them separately. and leave at least a week between applications. Sometimes doing more is not better, it is just more. After going through all the 15, here is what I would actually do. Not what the theory says, but what I kept reaching for. If I had one dying plant tomorrow and could only choose 3 boosters, I would pick vegetable cooking water for speed, because it is free and works surprisingly fast. I would choose compost tea because it improves the entire soil system instead of just addressing one symptom. And I would reach for aloe vera water because stressed roots need support before anything else matters. That combination covers some of the most common reasons plants decline. Without spending a cent at the garden center, remember this: most dying plants are not dead. They are asking for help. And sometimes the solution is already sitting in your kitchen or waiting in your compost bin. In the next video, I am going to show you how to build a soil system that keeps plants from reaching this stage in the first place. The inputs cost almost nothing. The setup takes less time than you would think. And once it is working, your soil starts doing most of the hard work for you. You stop reacting to problems and start preventing them. If that sounds useful, turn on notifications, because once you understand how healthy soil actually works, gardening becomes a whole lot easier.